Welcome, friends. Today we are doing some first impressions on a couple of minis. Gee. So, these two fragrances are number 22 by Chanel, a vintage, and Boss Spirit by Hugo Boss. Now, with Boss Spirit, you may recognize this from Ramsey's channel. And he did a first impression on this the other day, and he was waxing lyrical about how nice it was and how green it was and what he thought of it now, all that sort of thing. So I thought, sod it, I'll try and find some. And I could not find a bottle at all. The bottles of this are rare as hen's teeth. So I decided to get a mini as well, which I did. It cost us 14 quid. Yikes. It's almost £3 a mil. Woof. You can get Bogart fragrances for less than that. And I also have a mini of Chanel number 22. This is a 19 mil. I bought this from Enchanté. He doesn't have them anymore, so apologies. I think Ramsey got one of these as well, if I'm not mistaken. So we are going to do some... Oh my God, look at the colour of that. Yow. Wow. Is what I meant to say there, but I didn't. I said something in like a cross between Chinese and Portuguese. Anyway. So this is what the minis look like, and that really is a mini, isn't it? I think that's 5 mil. This is at least 19 mil. Why they didn't make it 22 mil is beyond me, but there we are. I'm not in charge, so what do I know? Excuse me whilst I hydrate. Also excuse me whilst I go and get my other device so we can look up some notes. I have been looking forward to this for a few days, and now is the time to strike. So here we are. These were both released. 1922 was released in 1922. It's not called 1922, it's just called 22. And Boss Spirit was released in the 80s, I believe. One of the first Boss fragrances before they fell apart after Boss bottled in 96. So we'll look up Boss Spirit first and see what it has to say. Boss Spirit by Hugo Boss. Ramsey was saying how green it was. I even texted him this morning. I said, how green is it? He was like, oh my God, it's so green. I was like, is it that green? And he was like, it's so green. Wow. So the notes. Boss Spirit. Artemisia, wormwood, galbanum, mint, green notes, aldehydes, that's the top. In the middle, there is tarragon, lavender, and geranium. And in the base, there is leather, sandalwood, patchouli, amber. Let's try this, shall we? I'm going to put this on skin. By God. From the bottle, it smells a little bit like piss. Right. That's gone on quite nicely. Dabbed, if you will. Bottle's just a little click into. And right, it is green, mind. It's not the greenest thing I've ever smelled, though. It's not the greenest thing I've ever smelled. There's a piss in here for me. I don't know if Ramsey mentioned piss. This reminds me hugely of Boss number 1. So first off, it starts very green. But there's also like this underlying kind of weird Uranus, kind of honey madness going on. Now, I don't have a dry down on anywhere. Maybe I'll start doing that with my first impressions, but this is literally the first time I've smelled this fragrance. There's a lot of... I know it's got leather in it. I wonder what they've used to make the leather accord. Because it's very, I don't want to say animalic, more than it's human-ish. Maybe it's those green notes. It's got like a dirty greenness to it. Not an earthy greenness, but like a dirty greenness, like something's pissed on the ground. There's a little bit of sweetness from the geranium and the lavender. It's very nice. I really like this. I think Ramsey was a huge fan as well. Let's try and dab a little bit more on, shall we? Try and get that top note back. Yeah, there it is. Honestly, I don't know if Ramsey mentioned this. I should have watched his video again before I started, but I didn't want to infuse myself with another opinion, you know. Excuse me whilst I sort that out. Excuse me whilst I burp. There's some kind of crazy sweetness coming out on my skin. I really like that. It's very green though, he's right. Wormwood, maybe given some kind of like sweetness. I don't know if wormwood has a sweetness. Maybe the lavender, maybe the sandalwood, amber. But it's not like an unnatural sweetness, you know. It's not like overdose of sweetness. It's just sweet. So, excuse me whilst I hydrate. That's nice. I like that. Now, on to number 22. Number 22, Eau de Toilette by Chanel. This is 22's birthday. It came out a year after number 5. And I'm going to be honest, I don't think Chanel did enough for... I don't think Chanel did enough for 22's 22's birthday. I don't think it did enough for I don't think it did enough for number 5's birthday either, considering the state of what number 5 was as a perfume. Everyone knows what number 5 smells like. But anyhow, not to worry. It's not my responsibility. Oh, throwing lids on the floor is. So, here we go. Just a dab, because this will be thicker than a whale omelette, this. Even though it's an Eau de Toilette, I believe this is from the 1980s, I want to say. And you can tell it's old because of the vanilla they use in this fragrance. I got this from Super Dake Up. The vanilla that's used in this fragrance will change the colour over time because of the type of vanilla it is. And straight off the top, you can tell this is a Chanel fragrance. This is beautiful. The notes are aldehydes, neroli, lily, tuberose, lily of the valley, and orange blossom. Middle notes are ylang ylang, jasmine, white rose, nutmeg. The base notes are iris, vanilla, and vetiver. Straight away, you get like the aldehydes, sort of like bright, fresh, sort of crazy smell of sunshine thing, you know. Neroli, a tiny bit. It's very well made, very well blended. The ylang ylang, definitely. Iris, definitely. Jasmine, yes. Vanilla, yes. Oh, it's lovely. The vanilla in this is really nice. I don't know that I could wear this. I don't know that I would have like a big bottle of it. It's not my type of fragrance. that I would wear, but to have like 20 mils, because that's like a 19 mil bottle, to have like a little bottle like that just so I can just open it and smell it. Beautiful. It's one of the great things about minis. You can just pick up minis and they will keep you going if you store them right. They will last, and you can just dip in and out if there's like fragrances you really love but you don't want to wear. Oh, that's fantastic. It's beautifully blended. The iris is amazing. This has gone into the Les Exclusives collection now, I think. And the fact it's in the Les Exclusives is what... The Les Exclusive seems to be like a study in iris. You know? Like all of those fragrances seem to have like a thread running through them. And it seems to be an iris note that's gone through them. I know Chanel are vertically integrated, so they have their own iris fields. Like everything they do is like in-house. They source their own materials. Excuse me whilst I hydrate. So yes, that is one of the things I think, the reasons I think this was put into the Les Exclusives. Obviously, I know Sycamore doesn't have like iris, and there's like, I'm not sure Boy has iris, but it wouldn't surprise us. But the line as a whole feels like it's a study of iris. Anyway, that is beautiful. I don't think the top notes have gone. I think they're still there, but it's definitely base heavy, and it smells like a Chanel fragrance. Absolutely beautiful. The Boss is now a little bit more powdery, a little bit more sort of based out, you know. It definitely smells like an older man's fragrance, though. It smells like a bloke from like the 80s, you know, like the early 80s. Shirt, mustache, big glasses, big rim glasses, that type of thing. But very successful mini purchases. I will be doing a mini video at some point soon of all of the minis I have. I'm going to try and get them out onto this little table where I can film them properly, so we can go through them and just have a look. I've been trying to get like a glass cabinet, but I'm not sure a glass cabinet's the best place to keep your fragrances, to be honest, because when the light gets at them a bit. So I'm going to try and find somewhere nice to put them so I can do that video on them. But anyway, thank you for watching, everyone. I hope you have enjoyed these first impressions, and I will see you again soon. Goodbye.